welcome to DW. I'm Sumi Somaskanda in Berlin, and this is your news in brief.
In Pakistan, at least 45 people were killed and scores more injured in a suspected suicide bombing near the city of Lahore on the border between Pakistan and India. The blast tore through crowds of spectators who were watching the daily flag-lowering ceremony to close the frontier for the night. The Taliban later claimed responsibility for the attack. The UN's climate change panel says the world's governments must invest now in slashing carbon emissions, or climate change will have a costly and irreversible impact on humankind. The body has released its most important report yet on climate change, and it concludes that human activity is a key factor. The document's supposed to provide the impetus for a new global deal on climate change by the end of next year. Thousands of people rallied in Burkina Faso against what they call a military coup. Mass protests overthrew the president on Friday, and the army announced it was taking over until a new leader is elected. The protesters say civilians should be in control during the transition. Elections are underway in Ukraine's breakaway regions, 1 week after the rest of the country went to the polls to elect a new parliament. Pro-Russian rebels in Luhansk and Donetsk are holding the vote, despite the heavy fighting that is continuing in the area. The government in Kiev, the EU and the US have said they won't recognise the result. Russia says the elections are legitimate. A Tehran court has sentenced a British-Iranian woman to 1 year in prison for trying to attend a volleyball game. London lawyer Gomche Ghavami was arrested at Tehran's Azadi Stadium during a spontaneous demonstration staged by female volleyball fans and women journalists. They were told they would not be allowed to watch the national men's team play against Italy. To football, and in Bundesliga, Gladbach took 3 points against high-flying Hoffenheim. Patrick Herrmann scored twice to put Gladbach on their way to a 3-1 win. They stay in third place on the table, 4 points behind leaders Bayern.
Those were your top stories at this hour. Stay tuned to DW for more news and information.